Okay. Guest review.
We're not going to be allowed to do this anymore.
Welcome to Long and Hard.
I'm super complicated.
He's here, right here, officer.
Well, we already know that Tom has the biggest brain here.
Yeah.
The podcast you didn't know you needed in your life until now.
I was 230 pounds.
Nice.
So much. We're all wearing jeans. There's so much piss on all these jeans. It just.
We're recording here. All right, shittiest guest, one Adam Gladwin.
Yeah, he was pretty bad, hey? We had him... Are we doing like the 12 days review, or are we doing like the whole year
No,
review?
the whole thing.
Oh
I'm
my
just
goodness.
tripping at him because he's sitting over there. So.
Yeah. How's it feel, Adam? Don't reply. Okay, don't reply. Senpai, notice me.
Still ignoring us. Okay. Anyways.
Welcome back to the last
episode of the year in terms of recording, but this will air before the Christmas ones, so listen to the Christmas ones.
But it's the last, like, us episode.
Yes, exactly.
Regular format.
Correct.
Yes.
And technically everything has been recorded by now, so.
Do you have to sit up really straight when you're recording like this?
Yeah, I believe so. This is going to fall off. I'm not used to this format. Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Be sure to smash subscribe.
We're YouTubers now. We have trees.
We have tree.
There's a guitar back there.
You can kind of see the neck through the thing.
Amazing backdrop. There we go. Yeah.
No, you're blocking the guitar more.
Shit.
Josh's sweet house.
There you go.
Can't put it back.
This kind of feels like a professional setup.
Kind of.
Not really, though. But I mean, at the end of the day, how did we start this whole thing? We started on
Webcam.
Google Hangouts that doesn't even exist
Google
anymore.
Hangouts. Let's take a time to reflect on the ones we've lost this year, like Google Hangouts.
Moment of silence. Okay, that doesn't really work for this
Okay.
format.
yeah, that's terribly boring.
But I mean, we've had many video spaces, and
Yeah, hey, this is
the last.
what are you
one.
doing? Oh, you just fucked off?
I guess I'm not getting
Still no
blinds
window
today.
coverings for Josh. Sorry.
You know how long I've been an exhibitionist in this house for? 2 weeks, bro.
How long have you lived here?
2 weeks.
I'd guess about 2 weeks. Yeah.
What is this hat you're wearing, by the way? Is it a shrimp?
It is a shrimp. It is the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. It's a minor league baseball team.
Spectacular.
Yeah. Yeah, the minor league teams have really ridiculous logos, so I thought it was kind of fun.
That's actually, I like it.
Thank
I
you.
like it a lot.
Thank you. Very unique.
No more window fucking coverings. God damn.
Man, he must have walked out of the house just like doing this, like trying not to look at you guys.
Oh my goodness. There is one thing about this space that I'm already noticing, though. Not treated. Echoing.
Yeah, I'm noticing that as well. Granted, the monitoring is louder than it will actually turn out, just because like what we hear back on this is a bit louder than
Adam,
the output.
you need to get fatter so you absorb more noise.
Or maybe if there were some fucking curtains in this house, it would make a difference.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe
Yeah.
if there was some cloth, that would definitely dampen some
Yeah.
noise, but whatever.
A little more art, perhaps, to eat a little bit of the noise. But anyways.
This is a male
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
3 dudes.
I need art in my house
Really
still.
feminine decorations.
Yeah, I think people can see them. But so wait, this would be our 4th video setup?
I was saying episode 40, but
Oh, and also episode 40. This me. 4 groups of 10.
4 groups of 10. But
4 tens.
let me review in my mind.
Okay, let me review out loud because that's kind of boring. But okay, we
Office,
had
your basement.
office, basement.
Yeah, this.
Well, Greg's office.
Yeah.
Like I meant like home office or like webcam. Let's call that one.
Oh, okay.
Then
can we really
basement.
call that a setup? I guess.
Technically,
I guess.
this would be the 4th setup.
Nice.
And this is also just for this one episode, more or less, or any solo ones, probably.
Your apartment.
Oh, and the condo. So this is the
5.
fifth one, right? Yeah.
5.
So, yeah.
Very dynamic setup we have here. And
Yeah.
if anybody wants to know how we do our podcasts, you can.
Buy our course for $9.97.
I was thinking $13.97.
Yeah, but that $1,397.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty reasonable.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like just
Being
under $1,400.
Amazon gurus.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I started following Baller Busters or whatever. It's actually pretty funny.
I saw that. Pretty
Yeah.
good account.
Yeah, pretty good account. Makes me feel a lot better because you see all these Amazon gurus. There's like 200K followers, and they're like, "Yeah, my students make $8,000 a second on my program." I'm like,
Yeah.
Maybe
Maybe you don't.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't.
not. So, but yeah, I'm sure people will see this and be like, "Oh my God, they moved again." But this is just our solo YouTuber podcast setup.
Mm-hmm.
Be sure to smash like and subscribe. You gotta do like, what's that fucking annoying guy's name? It's like Ali S or something like that. He's a dude,
Okay.
and he makes like Fortnite videos, but very much for kids. And he just like yells in his intros, and then this annoying EDM music plays. It's kind of funny actually.
Nice.
And there's memes making fun of it. So
Quite frankly, I think we were very successful this year. We got copy struck from all of our first 20 some odd videos.
yeah, exactly.
So that's always good.
Yeah, YouTube hates us. Controversial show.
So controversial.
Yeah.
And I don't know. We stuck with it though.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. I mean, we have, as of now, recorded 52 episodes technically. So
Yeah. Wow.
actually 53, because I believe the intro we called episode 0, and then started counting from there.
True.
So
I would really like to
wow.
go back and rewatch that first couple episodes.
Oh man,
How
me
bad
too.
they were.
Dude, I even hear sections of the clips from it, and even our speaking voices and stuff have changed a lot. Just
Yeah,
kidding.
we're so much more seductive. now.
Yeah, exactly. Well, actually, like our voices both sound quite different. Not only the cadence of how you speak, but the literal sound. I don't know how much more I can make that clear. So, but anyways,
Huge balls.
huge.
Huge.
Yeah, gonna be huge.
But I mean, to be honest, I think that if anybody wanted advice on this, it would be pretty much do it, because we sucked our first
Yeah, that's where that conversation
10
was
to
going.
15
Yeah,
episodes for sure.
yeah, it was pretty bad. So
It was really bad. But I mean,
I want to say it was around episode 13 or so, 12 or 13, where we sort of figured out.
there was a couple episodes that we did remotely that was still pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But where we really are, I think, hit the stride was when we
Once we started getting
Yeah,
in person,
back
getting
into
together.
person.
So
So
yeah.
exactly. Oh, producer's leaving the studio. Oh.
Anyways, yeah, no, those first ones, it took a while to find our stride. So, and then I guess part of it is you don't have to be handcuffed to what you do. And this goes for anything, right? Like
Yeah.
you can pivot and adjust a little bit along the way.
Very
you also
true.
don't need to pivot every 2 seconds that you hit some sort of roadblock or resistance, right? Because I've seen the other side of that in some other ventures. But
Same. I'd agree. I think that we did well in that we were like, okay, we're kind of running out of content 10 episodes in.
this isn't exactly. This isn't exactly. Sorry, I decided I'm a sound on guy for my phone now, so
Oops.
need to turn that off.
I actually have like no notifications on my phone
Yeah.
besides my drink water.
Do you do you actually have a reminder for that? Is it a separate app, or is it a reminder you made for yourself?
It is an app called Waterlogged. Shout out,
Yeah.
because we're doing that now. And it reminds you every however much of an interval you want to drink water, and then you can
That was you.
shit. What the fuck am I getting? Duolingo.
Have you ever seen those memes of the owl where it's getting like super aggressive? It's like, hey, you need to be working on your fucking French right now.
That's pretty much where it's coming from.
And
So
then it's like a meme.
I
It's
haven't
like
been doing it in a while. So.
it's like a picture from I don't know, some movie where a guy's holding a gun and that's just a Duolingo bird's face stuck on it. So
What was I saying? Oh yeah, but then you can track how much water you drink throughout the day.
oh yeah.
Very well spent. $4.95 on my.
Do you
phone.
actually use it?
I use it actually quite a bit.
I'd be curious to know how much, because I just drink water. Like I drink quite a bit and like pretty regular, but I'd be curious to know the actual quantities.
Yeah,
Do you think it's like more or less than if you were to like guesstimate?
Probably less than I would think I do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. So, I would
Excuse me.
recommend it if you're a busy guy that just doesn't really think about that stuff all the time.
True. Or if you're trying to drink more water or something, right? So
What you track, you will hit. There's probably a song about that.
okay. So, anyways, what were we talking about? Oh yeah. So podcast.
Podcast.
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Do it.
Just do it.
Just do it. Yeah.
Do it.
I thought that was Adam actually
What?
for yelling upstairs.
That would be funny if he was paying that much attention, but
He's not.
no.
He's not.
Yeah.
So we actually switched producers back to the original producer.
Have we?
I don't know.
Well, who the fuck knows where Spencer is now? So
Yeah. Is he in the mountains? I don't think so.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Is he
He's MIA. So
missing in Miami? That's a joke. From Don Mazzetti days, bro.
oh, is that? Oh, okay. I don't remember that one. But hey, can you drive both ways on Candy Cane Lane during the day?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought so.
Yeah, we're coming live from Candy Cane
Live
Lane,
from Candy Cane Lane.
where you can't park.
It's 5 to midnight. I looked at the sign, so I could have parked in front, so it would have been fine. But anyways,
We got a fucking thing in the mail that said, "Oh, you're not allowed to park here the entire month of December, pretty much." So,
Yeah.
don't fact check me on that.
yeah. Well, there's a sign like right out front. You could just go read it.
I could, but you.
But
also
I don't know
get-
how to read.
You also get you get the fucking letter from the city or whatever if you live here.
Yeah.
So, but I guess we get half our month of electricity for free.
I don't know. Don't ask me. You're the one who lives here.
I think we do. We have lots of decorations, so it totally
Yes.
merits it.
You're fucking. Their snowman is just sitting on the ground. Not even sitting. It's deflated, just sitting, laying on the ground. Very depressing.
Well, we don't have tent pegs because of somebody. We also don't have tent pegs because of somebody. No, actually. I went camping one time when I was like 2 years old, and then my parents were like, "This sucks." And we drove home in the middle of the night. I have never been camping again.
Actually,
That's my camping experience, bro. I'm a city slicka.
dude, that's kind of funny. Actually,
It's pretty funny.
just the first night, not even like, all right, let's try it, see what we do tomorrow.
Yeah.
Maybe give it the whole weekend, see if we really like it. But just
No.
nah, fuck this.
Super cold or something. I don't remember the whole
Was it
story.
like
but
raining or something?
I did camp in my backyard once.
Oh yeah, nice. Did you guys like go tent it somewhere? Because you guys never like owned an RV or anything.
When I
right?
was 2 years old, I don't know these.
Oh, okay, you were that little.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
I
gotcha,
don't know
yeah.
the answer.
Yeah.
No, we never had an RV.
Okay, yeah. We were trailer people for a bit.
Trailer
Yeah.
people, eh?
Yeah. I don't know. It was some good times for sure.
No?
Yeah. It'd be nice to actually have like a RV now, because I don't really love tenting it, DBH, and I don't hate camping, but I also don't like the setting up part. So
You're just shaking your head at us.
shut up. That's it. We're bringing Spencer back.
Yeah, we're bringing Spencer
You blew
back.
it, Adam.
At least he doesn't call us pussies.
Yeah. Just skips out unnecessarily on, recordings we had planned months in advance.
Mind
but anyways,
you, those are long days. They were 4-hour days,
wow.
Long days.
I don't put in a lot of 4-hour days.
What are those?
Do the old 11 to 1 p.m. with a lunch break in there as well.
Hit the gym in the middle. Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I don't blame him, just kind of sitting there on Bing It's not going to get very good results.
No, it's not going to get very far with that. So, yeah.
Fair statement.
Well, anyways, any cool, insightful lessons learned from a year of podcasting? Well,
8 months.
8 months, but call it our first year.
Yeah, let's call it our first year. Because clickbait. Clickbait works. Do clickbait.
Yes.
So,
Correct.
The videos that we use clickbait on were the most viewed. How to make millions.
Actually, that's true. Now that I think about it, but then also we changed our title format a few times throughout as well. So
we're getting
kinda
back to the
going
clickbait for 2020.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with that, or at least give some insight and preview, like build some intrigue, right?
Yeah, we can't just use the name of the person. I think, like, unless they're
I
like
think it
fucking,
depends who they are.
Yeah,
right?
unless they're like Elon Musk.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair. We're not Joe Rogan. We can't use the name of the person.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, that's pretty fair. I'd agree with that, actually.
We'll go back and forth on the titles too.
Mm-hmm.
More than one suggestion.
Try to think about it, right? So,
yeah.
Well, because what actually worked really well on some of the old ones was power of 3, and that it would be like 3 topics, like blah 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 blah, featuring whoever, right? So, but yeah.
I'm trying to think of 3. I don't know what the fuck. Sorry, I'm blanking today.
Anyways,
it's been a long day already, bro. It's 1:59 p.m. What was I gonna say?
Oh my god, it's 2 o'clock. Okay.
Yeah, I know. Shit. Yeah. What other lessons did you like though? Because I think what would you do if we had to do it all over again? Ooh. I asked the real question.
That's a good question. I would probably, skip the whole starting part that we did. Mm-hmm. But obviously hindsight's 2020, such as it always is. So that's sort of how we learned and got the practice, right? But
skip the whole starting part, as in
the first 11 episodes where we were like an entrepreneurship show or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I would maybe forego that.
That's fair.
Next time. But even so, that's obviously with the knowledge that I have now, right? So
I would almost suggest that people just start a talk show with a friend or something, like, because the conversations that we have as a group of dudes are always like pretty insightful, to not stroke my own dong here, but
or at the very least entertaining,
yeah.
right? And I guess that's what we're trying to recreate, granted not just with our friends but new people.
True.
Right? And that's kind of what I tell people for we're not really an interview, it's more of a hangout hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever. Mm-hmm. Like there's no real set agenda or topic. We're just kind of hanging out, talking, and then you can feel and act like yourself, right? As guest on our show. I don't know what way. I thought a better word would come to me, but it didn't.
Never does.
Yeah.
Never does.
Yeah.
I think that, formats do work for some shows. Mm-hmm. Like we were on a couple of shows where they were doing formats, and that seemed to work for them. Me? Format? Commitment? What? I don't know.
Not really our style.
No, not really.
I actually did with the Christmas stuff, how we at least had the 2 go-to questions or whatever we were asking people. Mm-hmm. Tune in starting December 25th for 12 podcasts for Christmas. But
shout out us.
Shout out us. Like that Snoop Dogg meme where it's like, I'd like to thank me
for never giving up on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but kind of having those go-to questions was good for if there's a little bit of a pause in the conversation, you could just jump to those real easily.
Very true. I was going to see if I could get this out of the shot, but
no, it's not going to happen.
Table.
Yeah.
Sad.
No.
Sad days.
Yeah, it's not happening.
Not happening. Yeah. I think that, we're ready to do it all over again. Probably the in-person thing is much better than doing it
virtually.
Yeah.
Virtually.
Like, I do know some shows that it does work for, but...
Well, I mean, yeah, the webcam show... You'd be surprised how many big shows are kind of webcam call-in based, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, the biggest one that I can think of off the bat is Spittin' Chicklets, right?
Yeah.
Those guys are very seldom together when you have that type of host, right?
Yeah.
And then even a semi-local show, he's from Edmonton but doesn't live here is what the fuck is his name? I forgot his name.
The young kid?
No.
Oh.
The young kid. I don't know. What?
Never mind.
Oh, okay. Ryan Holtz.
Okay.
He's the marketing guy, and
Yep.
he does like a webcam show.
Yeah.
But it's fairly good, and he's had some decent guests on there, and
Yeah.
he actually is somewhere on the top charts in Canada now for his podcast or something. So he actually has a pretty good following. So
Shout out.
Ryan Holtz.
Get us on your show. There you go.
Yeah. Actually, that's one part I've thought about is because you and I can still do the in-person. Do we somehow webcam someone in, like with, say, this setup, for example, right?
Maybe.
Like with that. I don't know. But I really do like it would look and feel like a totally different show,
It would,
right?
yeah.
Which I don't like and is bad for branding, etc., right?
Yeah.
Because our big thing is the in-person, and I think that's what people like about us. And also, I think where we have it, because even though it's like at the office or whatever, it's quite a private setting, so we're just kind of sitting there chilling. There's not a lot of
Yeah.
expectations or what's the other word I'm looking for? Pressure,
Sure.
etc. Right?
Yeah.
So.
Even the couch setup was good too, just because it's even
Yeah.
almost more relaxed.
You know, in hindsight, I did like the couch, the basement feel. It was good. So would like to get
Get another
somewhat back to
couch
that, right? So
somewhere.
get another, yeah. If anyone
Basement.
has a couch and or office space,
For
we can,
2020.
yeah, carve out a little corner here.
They're gonna charge you rent, brah.
Yeah, fuck these guys. Goddamn.
Yeah, I think that's probably important. At least having an overarching kind of like feel is a good thing too.
Yeah, I mean it's all well. Hang on, just gotta make sure my hat looks cool. Okay. Anyways, yeah, I mean you don't really need. You need some sort of theme, even if that theme
Is no theme.
is somewhat no theme. But with it, for you and I mean, our theme, like part of it is still like our background, our working and personal relationship, etc. Right? Like that is kind of part of what we bring to the table, right? So
Fair statement.
yeah, and I like to think that kind of reflects in our conversations we have with people, right? So yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. It's pretty cool. I was going to do an Instagram post, but also it's kind of cool that we've just like met and stumbled upon lots of other really good local content and content producers and stuff, namely in the YEG podcast, Edmonton podcast community. There's some pretty cool people out there, and I've sort of gotten into that more local content a little bit. It is out there, right? So
I mean, I'm surprised at how many people we met on this show and how easy it was to like interact with people and get them in the door too.
yeah, to come on and
Yeah.
kind of, I mean, become decent friends with them in a relatively short period of time as well, right? So
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, you just gotta ask the question.
yeah, exactly, for sure. Well, I mean, that's even it too, is you don't know if you don't ask. And we've asked some people and we've got some no's, we've got some ecstatic yeses, we've gotten everywhere in between.
We don't have too many no's.
And then you also have people reach out to us, which is cool as well, right? So that's always fun.
Is this fame?
Did you? Oh, I should have said, because I sent that to Carly, because I asked her, I'm like, how many views did we end up getting on Josh's TikTok?
The TikTok. Oh
She's
my
like,
God.
oh, about 2,000. And then I just reply literally with that. And I was like, is this fame? And she was like, you guys actually should have started one when I told you to, but we didn't. So rip
Rip.
to TikTok.
Rip to
Our
TikTok.
TikTok careers. I don't know, man. I feel like I'd be too worried that shit we would try on there would turn out dumb or cringy or something, and then we'd be on like Instagram meme accounts, ironically. You know what I mean?
You know what? If they're talking, they're talking.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe I'll make a TikTok. I just don't really. I can't get over the China thing.
Yeah, that's kind of my qualm with it as well, right?
Yeah.
So,
And I mean, I'm also. I don't know. I like to think I'm funny, but not in that regard. You know?
Well, me too. And a lot of my humor and stuff is kind of conversational, so that might not translate in. Well, neither of us are really like a extroverted, dance around and lip sync personality. That's not really on brand at all, right? So
Not really.
I don't really see that translating well into the TikTok world. We're also kind of just sitting here making excuses, but I don't know.
End of 2020, we're both fucking TikTok famous.
Yeah.
And well, I mean, by the
Why are
20
you so obsessed with that shit? Yeah.
I mean, social media is it's a world that's just constantly evolving too. So it's like if I hop on this train, it's almost like I missed this fucking train out the station. So now I'm waiting for the next train out the station so I can be the next fucking Vine star. You know?
Mm-hmm. But sometimes I feel like people are, because of that, you're overly looking for that next train, if you will, right? And you know, something like
We got to clean this table.
Dylan's not going to be happy about that.
What the fuck is this shit?
Looks
Anyway,
like
sorry.
some sauce. But no, what was I saying? Oh, so because you can only go back and say, like, this doesn't apply to us because we're still a new show and growing and stuff. But for big YouTubers, let's say, to say, here's how you become a YouTuber.
Yeah.
Well, they can only say that now
Yeah.
and after they kind of came up with it. Like,
True.
It's very hard to retroactively go into any system or any platform and grow after the fact. There's
Yeah,
kind
that's
of a happenstance, like stumble upon it thing. And you could even look at something like Google, because there used to be kind of a search engine race.
Yeah.
And they just started at the good time. Yeah, they're really smart, blah, blah, blah. But there's some level of dumb luck or like
That's
really
true,
big
yeah.
blogs or anything or really big Facebook pages, because there's a lot of, like, one, for example, is Barstool Sports. They're still really big on Facebook because they accumulated so many millions of likes on their page over the years that now they're set up.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
No, that's very true.
so you can only, and then for someone like Joe Rogan to say, okay, here's how you grow a show.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he worked very, very hard, but it was also, you can only say that retroactively looking back. Like, he kind of grew with the system too. So,
Yeah, that's very true.
so the same thing applies to,
Shit
I mean,
is-
TikTok is where it's going, but there are people on TikTok with 10 million followers already too,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Should have
Pick-
started a YouTube account in 2007.
Honestly. I actually remember even, well, Smosh was big in those days, or watching like
Fuck.
Andy Milonakis on there
Yeah.
and thinking it would be fun to do this with my friends. And we were in like fucking junior high, so probably would have just been fucking horrendous. But it
Oh,
might have been
yeah.
a good idea if you had started then. Maybe you would have jumped on or caught one of those trends a little more, you know?
Maybe.
So,
Maybe.
yeah. But,
Yeah, I'm just an old guy sitting on my porch. Get off my lawn.
yeah, exactly. Yelling at
Kids these days, they're fucking TikTok.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it is definitely like a younger platform too. You know what I was thinking about is, because I've been watching a couple episodes of the Toys That Made Us. We were talking about that with Kieran the other day,
Yes.
and you know, I watched one on like Lego and Transformers and stuff. But I was thinking, toy companies are interesting because the people you market to and the people you're collecting money from are two different things.
Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting, right? Because marketing is convincing someone they need or want your product and getting them to pull out their wallet, right?
That's fair.
But
But also,
with toys, you're driving the demand with kids, so then they go to the parent and buy it, and the parent pays you, and there's kind of this like triangle. I don't know, it's kind of intriguing.
but
I
I
thought
mean,
about it.
also, if we go down that road, women purchase a lot more stuff than men do.
Right.
So even for men's clothes or men's scents or whatever.
Actually, yeah, well, even with Ken, we learn like for beard products
Yeah.
that you're marketing to women a lot of the time because they buy it for their
Yeah.
significant other, right?
Yeah. So it's
yeah.
that's a difficult game. Interesting.
It's intriguing. Yeah, kind of think about that. So, I don't know. Anyways, that crossed my mind. So,
I mean, we're marketing to everybody.
I mean, you also don't want to market to everyone and everything all the time, right? But
7 to 82 or whatever Crystalia says his demo is.
does he actually
Did
say
you ever
that?
see that?
No.
He was like, I was with my team and they were telling me my demo, and then they're like, "Holy fuck, 7 to 82."
Yeah.
Your demographic is everybody.
Oh, okay. He was just doing his kind of thing.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah. They actually, I heard it on a different podcast. It was Brian Callen talking about when he travels for comedy and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And a thing now that a lot of young comics do is you see them and they're either being like Dalia or Santino or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to be like them, but it's
Like
kind
using the same. How do I put it?
like his. But the thing too is what people say is that's kind of his, like Chris D'Elia, for example, his social media personality. It's exactly that. It's a little bit of a personality. Like
Yeah.
you're kind of
Yeah.
caricaturing yourself in a way,
Sure.
right? Which is sort of arguably what everyone does, right?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they act like him because they think that's what they need to do.
Uh,
But he's him. Like you just come off as if you're acting like Chris
yeah.
D'Elia. You're not
Inauthentic.
coming off
Yeah.
like yourself,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah.
and I think that's even part of this where, what have I learned from podcasting and stuff? It's definitely to be
Stay-
yourself, right? Stay true to character, right? So,
Be
and
yourself
yeah.
is all that
Exactly.
you can
Yeah.
do.
yeah, shout out Audio Slave.
I think that's audio slave.
Yeah. Right, but especially for such long form content,
Yeah.
your personality is going to come out. You can't really keep up the facade
Yeah.
that long.
Unless
So,
you're a phenomenal actor or some
yeah,
shit.
exactly. But
Yeah.
to that regard, there's certain things where some of the stuff when I listen back, I've kind of fixed some of the things with the cadence of how I speak, etc., or isms I have that I didn't like. I'm like,
Yeah.
when you hear it back, you think to yourself, or you think, oh, that's kind of weird when you actually hear it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's parts of it where I'm like, oh, I wish I sort of did this differently, but I'm kind of think to myself, no, that's just kind of who I am,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah.
and I've gotten some good compliments on, well, no, like this part of your podcast or whatever kind of shows your personality or very authentic. So
Mm-hmm.
why not keep that up? And if anything, I was absolutely mortified of putting any content out there, especially me talking to a camera. Like I was so uncomfortable with even the idea of that. And now I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah.
Particularly, granted, something like this is a very controlled environment. Like my public speaking skills are still pretty bad, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm at least a lot easier with this and putting myself out there. So that's helped me in other aspects of my business, which was sort of my goal too, right? So but,
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say even for myself that it's just listening back to the first 5-10 episodes or whatever.
Yeah. We should actually go listen to some of the old ones after this, but
We should do a reaction video.
but then have the thumbnail be like
Exactly.
right, just ridiculous thumbnails. Yeah, exactly. Shit like that.
Yeah.
That's one thing we don't have is Photoshop skills to make cool cover photos. But
Speak for yourself.
shut up.
The photo.
is,
Did I send you the photo of Cody? Or the one that I did for his the house that he sold, and I cut him out of another photo. And
Yeah,
there's
dude. I
definitely,
was gonna start. I
obvious,
was gonna be like, "This is fucking trash," but I'm like, "Nah, I'll
There's
just leave it."
obvious white space. Yeah.
No, I saw that, and I'm like, I'll just make something better on Canva when it comes out. But
You can't do the magic, the magic select where you select an object out of the photo for a person usually, because there's just
too much shit.
there's
Yeah.
just too much.
Oh, for sure. Yep.
So
But that I don't know.
you have
Anyways,
to
but
go through and
no, I was laughing at that. I'm like, this looks so fucking shitty.
Might
But
do
part of
another
the
one.
problem was the photo of the house was kind of crappy as well. So
yeah, fair.
fucking yeah. Anyways,
That's not his fault.
no.
That's the listing agent's fault.
Oh, was that the listing photo? Because
I
it looked like
believe
he
so.
just took a
I'm
Snapchat of it. So.
Pretty sure it's a listing photo.
Oh, that's even worse. But
Yeah.
anyways, it's a difference. Yeah. So I guess on that note, should announce that I've officially joined Rever Real Estate. Reverie.
Yeah.
Revere.
Yeah. Welcome to the team.
Thank you.
I made a post this morning.
Yes, I saw that. Thank you
And
for posting.
Jerked
But,
you off a little bit on Instagram.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now I'm working with Josh again. So
After 2 years?
2 years.
2 years?
Almost pretty much exactly 2 years at Seller Invite, which was pretty good. So, yeah.
And I mean,
Which
January would have been 2 years.
it was January.
Yeah.
So
There you go.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. So pretty darn close. It would have been January 6th or 8th or something, I want to say. So for all intents and purposes, call it 2 years.
It all comes back around.
All comes back around. So,
Yeah.
man, because I posted my business card today on Instagram, my one friend's like, man, how many places have you hoarded yourself out to in your career? I'm like, shit.
Actually, Phil Jungwer, shout out. Phil was, he messaged me. He's like, you're bringing the team back. And I was like, yeah, bro.
We're getting the band back together. One more reunion tour.
One more before we hang up the guitars. Yeah, so welcome to the team, and I think
Thank you.
2020 is going to be a pretty good year.
Should be a pretty darn solid year. So,
Yeah.
and if you're looking to buy or sell a home in the Edmonton area,
You know where to
give
go
us
now.
a shout. So,
There you go.
what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, but like, because I definitely had when I look back at my resume of brokerages,
Yeah,
I am now that guy who has jumped around a lot, and even you are too, right?
I am.
And
Yeah,
I didn't want to be, but it happens. So
I was
right.
out of place for like a month when I was getting my broker's license, so I guess that kind of counts.
yeah. So and then I didn't really have any.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, I'm at
Fuck.
5. So, and I think
I would also probably be at 5.
no, you'd be at
No,
5
5.
because you went to Home and Gardens for a little bit or whatever.
Yeah.
Homes and Gardens.
Shout out.
Don't shout. Anyways, but I mean, not that it matters. It kind of is what it is, right? So
You know what,
but,
man? Just like our clients. Now I'm home.
Fuck off. Shut up. Fuck this guy. Boo. Boo. If you are subscribed to this podcast, please go hit unsubscribe because of that. Okay, just kidding. Don't unsubscribe, please.
Yeah, we need to keep those up there.
Please subscribe to my half of the podcast.
Yeah, every subscription from now on is 0.5.
0.5. It's like units. That was a realtor joke. That was bad. Anyways,
I laughed. I thought
but
it was funny.
yeah.
Maybe 2 people will get it, but fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, like that's
Yeah.
kind of pretty common for that industry. Is
Well, yeah, and I mean, it's, are you jumping around because you're searching for something better, but never looking within? So, because I didn't really have intention of leaving Seller Invite again after I went there, but
yeah.
obviously this came about relatively recently and semi-unexpectedly, but anyways.
Shot him an offer he couldn't refuse.
Yeah, made him an offer he couldn't refuse. But what the hell was I going to say? Oh, funny story about that was, there was one time where this one agent was wanting to show one of my listings or whatever, and then was kind of interested in an offer, but was asking 8,000 fucking questions. And then another offer came in,
Yeah.
and the client accepted it because I did let them know, but then they just accepted the other offer because following the legal instructions of your client. And he's like, oh man, like what? He got it, but he's like, what happened there? I'm like, well, as the Godfather said, they made us an offer we couldn't refuse. And then he was kind of taken aback by it. It took him a second. He's like, oh, okay. But it was actually like they were nickel and diming the shit out of everything and hadn't even written an offer yet. And then this other offer came in for like 98 point some odd % of list price in a really short possession.
Yeah.
And it was vacant home. And they're like, fuck yeah, right? So
All right. Rules for realtors. Before you fucking negotiate, bring me a fucking offer.
yeah, exactly.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but anyways,
Not to
so
lose my marbles.
I dropped that line, and I thought I was being kind of, and we had. It's not like he was mad at me, so I
Yeah.
wasn't just being a shithead. It was we were having a
Yeah.
pleasant conversation. Like the best way I can put this is they
Yeah.
made us an offer we couldn't refuse.
That is pretty funny.
right? And then end of the day, like you kind of have to look at it that way of like, yeah, your client's kind of like shit and pissed at you, but if
Yeah.
someone comes along and writes a better deal,
What the hell are you supposed to do?
yeah, exactly, right? So,
Yeah.
but.
I mean, you acted in the interest of your client.
Exactly,
Your
right.
client is like,
Well, it's
sweet
a-
offer.
Exactly. It's a tough market. So if a good offer comes along,
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you this is a good offer, right?
Very true.
So, anyways,
We'll not talk about tough markets because I think our first episode of 2020 is actually a real estate.
real estate one.
Round
That's
table.
correct, actually. So,
Yeah.
new segment, new special coming up.
We should do that like every quarter or like.
I was thinking
third or-
about quarter, third. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Something like that. Kind of play it by ear. Maybe have more or less kind of the same rotating group of guys
Mm-hmm.
and or girls, whoever, right?
Yeah,
Is in the
exactly.
space, right? So,
That's fair.
but yeah, no, I like that. So, market predictions coming first week of January, I want to say, or well, second week.
Market
When the
predictions.
fuck? Hang on.
I was just gonna do a disclosure. Market predictions are not a guarantee of price or whatever. Don't come at me if they don't come true.
Yeah. We're recording that on the 6th, and it will be coming out the 15th.
Okay, so
So.
it's the second episode.
Second episode, because
It's
I
our
think
first
were
episode.
we just gonna do a solo one because we need to record it unless we can find someone for December 30th, which is a Monday.
Okay.
I was thinking of doing it then, just because.
I think people are very interested in our scheduling.
Yes, we should probably talk about this after the show. But
Yeah.
actually, that kind of transitions well into next year. You know, we have some pretty cool guests organized and coming up here, and not all of them confirmed, but let's just see. Just gonna read some random names in no given order.
Sure.
Jay-Z.
Yep.
Let's see. We also have Stephen Harper.
And
Elon Musk.
and Justin Trudeau. Just
And
to
Justin Trudeau.
Even it out.
Yep. Keep it fair, right down the middle. Joe Rogan's getting back to me, but he
Yeah.
did answer my DM.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, no, we have some more great local people and content producers and interesting people from around the city. So, yeah, it's going to be a pretty good year. So, and on, and on that cheery note, we also still have to do guest of the year, get a guest of the year belt to start off next year.
Yeah. Don't put your fucking hand
Fuck
out.
off. No, Adam's kicked out. No one vote for Adam.
You come on our podcast wearing sunglasses and can't even string two words
No,
together
that,
because you're
that
hung
was kind of
titties.
funny. But anyways, puts up his hand.
It was
Yeah.
actually hilarious. Can't wait for the, I don't know.
Whatever day that is.
I think it's like the second last week.
It'll be the second or third last?
So it's
Second
like-
last. Yeah,
It's
second
like
last.
January 4th or 5th.
Fourth
it
or
comes
fifth
out.
or something like that. I don't know.
Stay tuned for Adams. I can't hear you.
What did you say?
Oh.
Oh,
We'll
there you
make
go.
it the 4th then. Happy birthday.
Happy shitty birthday,
Yeah.
Adam.
Yeah. Don't say I never got you nothing for your birthday.
An appearance on the Long and Hard podcast. That's your present.
Yeah, we do have to figure that one out. I think we know who we're going to give it to.
Oh, I was going to open it up for voting.
Oh.
Yeah, I was going to use whatever
Shit. son.
whatever the fighter and the kid uses. They use some sort of voting platform where it's we can do all the inputs and then people just vote. But it keeps it. The results are anonymous except to us, sort of thing. So,
Gotcha.
yeah,
Okay.
I need to figure out what that platform is, but
Okay. Survey Monkey.
it's probably something. I mean, we could use that. I believe, right?
Isn't that what everybody used in like university or whatever? For their clicker thing?
Probably. Oh yeah, I don't know. I didn't really have to didn't have a lot of those.
There's a
I
fucking
avoided
class in-
presentations like the plague in
Yeah.
fucking university. So.
Yeah, but there was a class that they like made us get a clicker for. It was really stupid.
Oh really?
So stupid. Okay, that sounds good to me. And then the guests can duke it out and
Well, and also, kind of cross promote, if you will, and get
yeah,
their friends, followers, etc., to vote for them,
good
plead their
idea.
case. So,
Good idea.
yeah, thank you.
When are we running it? From when till when?
It'll probably be
2 weeks. I give them 2 weeks.
it'll probably be about 2 weeks, sometime in January, sort of thing, because I think that sort of makes sense
'Kay.
to kind of do it after the year is finished, if you will. I mean, we could do it now, but I don't know. There's a lot of noise with the holidays and stuff, so I sort of want that to die down, right?
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair statement. I like
Thank
it.
you. And the belt, because I looked into the belt like a few months ago or whatever, and they actually, the turnaround time on them is relatively short, so we can just do it whenever. It's fine.
Alrighty.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
And that sounded like we're ending, but we're not. So, what do we got here? Do you have any our episodes are like children, You don't have favorites. You just have some that are good at different things, and you love them all equally. Do you have any like really standout episodes?
Standout.
Without knocking anyone, I don't want to go down this path, but I sort of do.
Yeah, fuck that episode that we did with. No, I'm just kidding. Let me think.
Here, let's just go through our list of episodes. Oh, wrong window.
There you go.
Let's see. Sucks.
Forget
sucks.
all of those.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Here's the guest one. All right. Sucks. Sucks. Sucks.
The one that I did where you interviewed me was kind of interesting. That was a good one.
That was pretty fun, actually, and that turned out pretty well for the first one, and it was a good way to introduce your story or whatever to the world in a more formal way. And that interviewer really knocked it out of the park, and
Thanks, brah.
a lot of natural skills. So
the one that we did with two girls, the first one, that was super.
That was
fun.
pretty fun, actually. And then because we had met them like a week before that, and it turned out really well. And it was actually one of our or was our most listened and viewed episode for the year, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're probably right about that.
Actually, they might be number 2 because Harrison's actually ended up doing pretty darn well.
And that was an interesting episode. That was
a lot of fun.
My entire fucking life.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, one thing I learned from Harrison specifically, just to shout out him, was one thing to note and think about just in general, and this kind of more applies to marketing and business or content, like people's how engaged their followers are, right? Because for Harrison, for example, he doesn't have a huge follower account on Instagram or anything, but a lot of his followers are members of his church.
Yeah.
So they're very highly engaged, which was really intriguing. Versus we had some people who had higher follower accounts, or I've seen it on other shows where they have high follow counts, but their engagement's actually very low because it's just some person. So I don't know. I guess that's something to think about for how do you personalize your touch. And I think a big part of online marketing is actually going offline in certain ways, or how do you get people to an in-person event or meet them for real, or even something like, let's say, for a lot of content production, kind of like for YouTubers, for example, is getting to like offline sales is where they actually monetize quite well, or something we talked about with Carly, for example, like brand deals, right? Where it's you won't make a lot of money inherently in the app, but the best kind of monetization option is to go offline, get a brand to pay you to go back online and talk about it or whatever. So anyways,
I think the two worlds are kind of coming together, really, right? So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a good clickbait title.
Yeah, it actually was.
Sex doll brothels featuring Jim Kerr.
Yeah,
the episode we did with Scrambled the Eggs, Alex and Jim, was super fun.
Yeah, that was a good time.
The one where we went on their show was that was really good.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, man, I think every single episode
was fun. Like this is just a fun thing to do in general. And then, I enjoy that because there's no format, they turn out very differently in terms of how serious they are or how fun they are.
Like Sean Thomas's episode, for example, we were like hammering him on like
details of flipping his
homes.
home versus who's a good example here. We even don't start playing certain people where we just kind of talked about fuck off. Okay. Just started talking about whatever, right?
Yeah.
Or I kind of enjoyed, where we exactly. Adam's pointing at himself right now. But where we and then how do I put this? Episodes where, for me, it ended up being quite a bit different than my expectations, if you will.
Yeah.
Which kind of taught me not to come into it with any expectations.
Yeah.
I do research our guests a little bit. I always have, and more now. Just to, I'll make some notes in terms of like I'll write it down once just so I remember. But I just kind of have something in the back of my head to like kind of grab at if needed, but it doesn't really have to go that way by any real means, right? You know what I mean? Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it's very true. I'm just looking at how many times I wore each shirt that I have in each of these videos.
I was actually just looking at the same because I'm like, well,
What's
I'm
the
noticing this
most-
one like black long sleeve New Balance shirt that I had
Yeah.
when we were in the basement because it was really cold down there. So I wore that. I apparently wore my camo jean jacket a bunch. Maybe I need to think about this because now I'm wearing the same like 4 shirts in half of these.
I know. Yeah, I'm so.
Yeah,
so
let's look at yours.
traumatized
Oh,
right
I can
now.
see. Okay, here, Kieran. And, oh no, wait, that's a clip from Kieran's
That's a
episode.
clip
Never
from
mind.
Kieran.
I'm like, look
Yeah.
at this idiot wearing
Don't
the same
you
shirt.
fucking throw that
Trying
one
to
on
throw
me.
you under the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh fuck.
There was a point there where I was like, "Oh, that's a good song." There was a point. Oh, we're gonna get copy strike
Oh
now.
shit. See, that's one thing I actually I like having our own intro for like branding and stuff, and
Yeah.
we've had some good feedback on it. But
Yeah.
I do kind of miss doing the random intro songs
I do
because
too.
it tells a little bit about the person and it kind of brings some energy to it. But we had to do it for the sake of the views, guys. Sorry.
We're getting so many more views
I know,
because
eh?
of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I wonder. I like how for just to pick on Sean for a second because I think people got that we were making a clickbaity title.
Yeah.
Because he's doing very well with it, but he's still early on in his flipping career.
Yeah.
So some people were like, "Is your friend actually a millionaire from flipping
Oh,
homes?" I'm
no.
like, "No, he's done like 4."
I think at the time he was on his
Is
second.
it like second? Yeah.
Yeah.
Or no, third?
Third?
I want to say his third was just finishing at the time. I could be wrong.
That was 5 months ago.
We're gonna have him back, and the title is gonna be "How to Make Billions Flipping Homes."
There you go.
So, shout out Sean.
Yeah, shout out. Yeah, we need more clickbaity titles.
Yep. Oh yeah, we'll work on that. We need to take notes or figure out a title while we do it because we always do it after the fact.
And I have to
And-
rewatch the whole
Yeah,
episode.
and it's like a week later because we
Yeah.
we have a 9-day advance schedule sort of thing.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing with any content whatsoever, and personal business, whatever, Instagram, YouTube, etc., is definitely consistency, right? So
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
that's been our strength because we've had no real gaps in our schedule, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, you're kind of berating people constantly, but at the same time, it's still
To be honest, I think that people that are like you, they're not gonna care if you keep if you post on a daily basis or you post 3 times a day or
Yeah.
whatever.
well, and then also like you have to know the numbers of we're only going to have a certain percent of people who follow and listen to every single episode, right? And thank you to you guys who do. You know who you are. I know who you are because you messaged me about them and stuff, which we appreciate.
Thank you.
But also on that note, I don't listen to every single episode of Joe Rogan or something, but I really love his show, right? Like
Yeah.
I listen to the ones that seem interesting, right? So
Yeah.
hence why we need clickbaity titles just to rope people into listening. So
True. And it also, I mean, like we're gonna get back on the clips and everything too.
Josh
so-
is going to get back on them.
Yeah.
Hey man, I've been doing the Insta clips, okay?
Yeah.
I try to do 2 or 3 per episode at least. So, but
Yeah.
yeah.
We're gonna get on like the longer form
Oh,
clips.
I see what you're
The-
saying. Yeah,
Like the 10
like
minute or whatever.
yeah, kind of more highlight reel ones, so
Yeah.
you can kind of get a little taste of an episode if you're not sure if you want to listen to the
Yeah.
whole hour and a half, 2 hours, or whatever. So
Yeah, and usually that's the worst part of the whole episode, so you should listen to the whole episode because then you'll get even more.
all the context and subtle, hilarious jokes such as we do. So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's true though. I think that probably posting every single day for something like this, and even for personal branding, is a consideration. That
stay top of mind.
yeah. Jesus, I look jacked in that photo.
What, this one here? Oh yeah,
Look at my
nice.
shirt sleeve, way too
Dude,
high.
the fucking funniest is the old episodes where you wanted to play an intro song, so you just held it up to the mic.
We didn't know anything about video editing.
Yeah. Well, more so audio editing, and then, because these ones we kind of recorded backwards, if you will, where it was just a stream and then crop the video. So actually, the one thing because I enjoy having the pause,
Yeah.
it makes a huge difference, especially with a guest or whatever. Because the one thing that I've noticed, I notice a lot more now
Pause.
how
By what do you mean by pause?
how we generally pause our recordings and take a break about halfway through.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
Versus when we were doing it live, there's no real way to pause or break or anything. And granted, we were a little too shy about it, where, on some of the early episodes, if I needed you to like do something, I would text you or whatever, because I didn't want to say, "Oh, hey Josh, can you check your mic connection or something like that?"
Yeah.
Or it was like,
You took a leak in one of them.
I know,
and
I was like, "Hey,"
carried the
I
episode.
was like, I said, "I'm like, keep talking. I really have to use the bathroom," so I like ran to the bathroom.
And I'm like,
right?
oh
So,
shit, what am I going to talk
yeah,
about for a
exactly.
minute and a half
Yeah.
here?
But then one thing I noticed with, and I've noticed this in conversations, not just podcasts, but in
Yeah.
general, I pay more attention to conversations now and just how conversation dynamics work, which is, I guess, good or interesting or whatever.
Yeah.
But you kind of, a conversation kind of creates its own little bubble and its own little world,
Mm-hmm.
and it sort of evolves and changes and then kind of devolves in a way,
Yeah.
right? Where by the end of a conversation, it's kind of falling, the wheels start to get rickety and fall off
Yep.
the carriage, if you will, and you're
Yep.
kind of like, all right, that was good for today, right? You know what I mean?
Definitely.
But once we hit record and stuff, sometimes you kind of create this little bubble of the conversation,
Yeah.
and you're sort of thinking of things outside of it
Yeah.
that you need to sort of tweak or adjust, which I find the pause is very helpful,
Yeah.
because as soon as you pause, you all of a sudden kind of relax and speak a little more freely.
Mm-hmm.
And then, because we always have there's kind of an interesting dynamic where we record the first half, then we have a good conversation at the start, and then the second half is generally a little more relaxed.
Yeah.
I've found, right? Just
Yeah.
because we notice I notice, and I'm assuming you probably do too, but the person has kind of a cadence to how they speak,
Mm-hmm.
or they do certain things or get towards certain topics or whatever, and then you kind of correct course, if you will, at the break, and then go
Yeah.
afterwards, right?
Yeah, that's probably true. And I also like how we were doing the intros, like how we just start talking and
Yeah.
then we get into something, whereas it's not an abrupt
Yeah.
start where you just like
See,
hammer the
granted,
person.
I have been thinking about, I don't know, our how we do a talking intro and kind of introduce the person.
Yeah.
Maybe we should ditch that or something. I've been thinking, and just do that intro in the text of like, so and so is a this, and this, and we talk about this, and this, which we write anyways.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, I was listening to another show and I was reading some of the reviews on it, and
Yeah.
they have no intro, nothing, and just start, right? And a bunch of people really like that. And
Interesting.
I don't know, I've sort of been thinking about it, because I think about, Joe Rogan has like 10 fucking minutes of intro and ad read, and I
Yeah.
skip it every
Every time. Yeah,
right?
every
So,
time.
how do we kind of cut to the chase? That's been something I've been thinking about, but anyways.
Fair.
Right? So,
Fair.
what were we talking about before that? Because I had something I wanted to say.
See, this is something
Conversation,
that we work
breaks.
on. Yeah.
Oh, one thing I noticed too is, but even going back to the thing of like how the conversation changes after the break and stuff,
Yeah.
for us, I think we've gotten better, and would like to continue to get better, is having, frankly, the gauze to ask a question or pull on the thread of a conversation, right? Because
okay.
especially when it comes to, stuff that might be a little more personal, but that's how you build a good connection with that person.
Yeah.
But I actually heard Theo Vaughn talking about this, which was interesting, where he was talking about his own episodes where he doesn't listen back to them all the times, or when he does, he picks too many holes in it. But one thing he said was, trying to be myself more is, Adam's
funny-
just folding
I
his
have a
laundry.
funny story about this guy's laundry.
Yeah, after. But anyways, when I listen back to it, there's been parts where the guest says something, and then
Yeah.
I think to myself, fuck, I should have asked this,
Yeah.
right? Or I should have pulled on that thread, so to say, a little bit more, right?
Yeah,
and
fair enough.
kind of, that's my thing going forward, is like, because I always want to try to make our content better for people,
Mm-hmm.
which falls on us, like not production value, just the actual conversation.
Yeah.
And that's something where it's like, when something comes up like that, you kind of have to just go for it and maybe ask that question that's, I don't want to say over the line, but it's maybe a hard question
Yeah, it's
to
a
ask.
hard pressing
Yeah.
question.
Yeah, maybe a bit of a pressing question.
Yeah.
And not in terms of interrogating the person or putting them on the spot, but just there's been times where I re-listen and I'm like, shit, they said something really good there, and then we just sort of moved on or made a joke or whatever. I'm like, fuck, I should have said X.
Yeah, and I think that as an audience member, somebody listening to it, you're going to
They might notice that too,
well,
right? So
you'll be sitting there and you'll be hoping that we ask that
they're like,
question.
oh man, why didn't you guys get into that or
Exactly.
whatever, right? So,
Yeah.
because I've had that listening to other shows or whatever,
Yeah.
or where actually on that note, if I can make sure everything's still recording here for one. Actually, so no, but there's certain shows I've noticed where when they're super formatted,
Yeah.
they need to get to the next bullet point they have on their notes, and they have a set amount of time.
Yeah.
But they've said some good things where I'm like, no, like
Yeah.
keep going.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You know what I
No,
mean?
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, Joe Rogan is one of the podcasters that happens to me almost the most, where it's like talking about something and then it segues into something else, and you're like, oh, I wanted you to
and they
dive
don't come back
a
to
little
it.
bit more into that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Really, I don't notice that too much with. Sometimes, I mean,
Sometimes. Yeah.
well, because they have the long wandering conversations, which is good, but sometimes you get kind of lost and you forget what you were talking about, right? So,
Yeah, we're gonna work on our ADD a little bit. And
nah.
Oh, okay. Because I did realize that's something, like, that's one of the biggest points of feedback that I got was we should be really going deeper about whatever the subject was that we were talking about, and then somebody will say something, and then we go off on that tangent instead of really hammering.
Staying focused, if you will.
Yeah, most definitely.
Being a relative term, I guess. But
Yep.
what were you saying about Adam's clothes?
He has a toque out on the porch yesterday, full of like a t-shirt and shorts. And I pick it up yesterday and I turned to Dylan and I said, "Who is the homeless guy that left their clothes on our step?"
Yeah.
And Dylan's like, "I don't know, what the hell?" And then his eyes go really wide and he's like, "Put that down." He's like, "Those clothes are covered in puke." And I was like, "Oh, shit."
Why did he leave him on the porch?
Can you answer that one for us?
The back porch or the front porch? I mean, I guess. Sometimes you just gotta say, well, shirt, we've had a good run. It's time to throw you out.
Or sometimes you just got to wring it out on the D floor and keep going.
Yeah, exactly. Somewhere in between.
So I come downstairs this morning, he's washing it, and he's he's washing it, he's like, and I'm like, oh,
Shit.
oh no.
Oh, God. Yeah.
All in good fun, Adam.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I kind of wanted to keep this one a little shorter, and we're at about an hour, so.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Well, on that note, though, we should say sincere thank you to everyone who's listened and watched and followed along. This has been pretty freaking fun.
It's been a good time.
Yeah, I mean, this gives me something to look forward to, and I really enjoy doing this show and growing it and just trying to figure out what the fuck to do and find cool people to talk about and what to talk about and, a creative outlet. It's very fulfilling that way.
I do like a creative outlet. Goodbye, last decade.
Yes.
Hello,
New decade. Wow. Can't wait for the 2029 last episode.
Oh, boy.
When everything's broadcast direct into your Google chip or whatever.
Yeah, I'm never going to leave your head.
Yeah.
Get ready for it.
Get ready. And I was going to say something else. I don't remember. And then
okay.
well, before we end off, before the end of the year, we have the 12 podcasts of Christmas dropping starting December 25th, also known as Christmas Day, and going on for 12 days after that, one episode per day. Check them out. Lots of we got a whole bunch of our guests who came on this year and our friends to come back and just hang out, chat about the Christmas and the holidays, and it was a lot of fun. Pretty casual, short episodes.
Lots of laughs.
Good times. So
Baileys and coffee.
yeah, so
good time.
enjoy it. Just to brighten your holidays. What better gift to give you guys than more of us? So, and thanks for listening, and we'll see you all next year, and gonna get us to 100 million subscribers.
Look out, PewDiePie. See you next year.
Yeah. Also, PewDiePie, unconfirmed guest 20.
Book it.
Yeah. Peace.